Hey there, this is going to be amazing. Very excited. Are you ready? I'm James, I'm the Oracle of 4D Story, and we are going to revolutionize storytelling in this moment, in this video, if you're ready. I know you've heard that ChatGPT is good for storytelling, and it is. But I'm going to take you down a road, unless you've been following my channel. If this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, I'm going to open up your eyes to something incredible, and the only way I can do it is show you. Okay, so we're in ChatGPT. I don't have time to explain what a GPT is, but we're going to utilize GPTs, which are just like little apps, collections of information that allow you to, if you ever use ChatGPT, you'll know that you have to write a prompt, and that prompt then brings back, well, sometimes you write elaborate prompts. Think of this as an elaborate prompt that's just all pre-stored so that you can load it up and basically engage ChatGPT around the information that's in the GPT. Okay, so I've created GPTs that have kinetic avatar profiles. So that means it's a digital character profile, but it's created using my PersonaWare and some other ideas that create a very dynamic character that when you create scenes with them as a marketer allows you to really be able to pinpoint your customer's emotional journey through the scene and identify at what point you might want to present an offer. That being said, that's how this would get applied to actual marketing, but there's a lot of other elements to it, including how you make connections from character to character. So we're going to get into all that. We go into ChatGPT, and what we're going to do is we're going to leverage these GPTs, and I've created several of them. So if you know, you use an at mention, and then you start. These are my recently used GPTs and the ones that I've tagged in the GPT store. I do an at mention, and I type kinetic avatar, and that brings up all my kinetic avatars. And as I make more of them, I will put them out there, and they're available to you once you understand how to use them. So I'm going to choose Max because I want Max in this scene. So I choose Max, and I just engage Max. I just have to interact with him. And when I do that, it puts Max into the GPT, into the RAM. Now, I don't need, he's in RAM. Now I want to load Myro, the Solana. This is a kinetic avatar I created after, patterned after the Solana meme coin, Myro. Alright, and we want to say hi to Myro. Now, I already have a chat GPT going where my computer's not wanting to catch up. Where, oh, I never saw that one. Oh, it doesn't. I asked for wireless hookup. I got wireless hookup. All right. Bit of, I don't know what that was. Southern hip hop. Somewhere in here, I do not need that. I apologize. No. Stop. I have... There it is. This is what I was looking for. I'm sorry, I need to download it. This is Super Describe. So it too is a GPT. And it allows me to put Max's original seed, which is this photo here, in. And then it will maintain the basic look of that photo as you create other photos. And so I asked for Max on a motorcycle here, but Myro I want to also utilize. I want to utilize him in the scene that we're about to create. And so I'm gonna find Myro. I have a picture of him here. Yeah, I thought I had a... So yeah, that's because I don't have my. It's fine. All right. So I want to create a scene that is going to promote both SoundPaint and the Solana network. Now, why would I do that? Well, one is because I'm trying to get Solana's attention. I think their meme coin would really be wonderfully served by having a kinetic avatar. So I created one. I am going to say, after I upload Miro, I'm going to say it the exact same way. See if I can't get a similarly generated. Oh, it's creating an image. I didn't want it to create. Well, I guess it has it. All right. This image is of Miro. Yeah. Look what it's. Yeah. Nice try. Alright, we'll see what it does. Now, why am I doing that? Because real quickly, I am going to create a scene, and I was hoping to have, cool, that'll work. This isn't necessarily the look I'm going for, but I don't have a look, really. Oh, I already downloaded it. Got a couple. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here to ChatGPT. I'm going to find one of them. This is what I'm talking, so we're going to slide him over. And now what we're going to do is we're going to, we've got to load one more. I have my kinetic avatar. Sorry, it's my digital story. So I put all my stories under 40 story, and this is Nightshades. If you're watching this whole video, I don't know if I'll ever release the whole thing, but I apologize. You have to see everything because I just turned on the recorder and away I go. But you're seeing my thought processes. So what I'm looking for is whether, I'm pretty sure, yes, there is a PDF titled 4D Scene Creation Instructions. So I have scene creation instructions, not in my individual kinetic avatars, but I do have them in 40 story, my Nightshade story thing, and I want to use that. So I loaded it and I asked it a question. And the question that I asked it was, is that PDF in there? Okay, it is. Cool. So what we're going to do, yes, that's going to be great. So we are going to create a scene. Dialogue scene, so it knows to create dialogue and not just to give me a monologue, a narrative. Okay, all we're going to tell it to do is, it's a scene where they're both racing on their motorcycles. All I'm going to say is be sure to use the instructions in the 4D scene creation instructions PDF. All right, so what I do that sometimes because I'm paranoid it's not going to just naturally do it. It probably would, but this way I know that I've kind of directed it. Nevertheless, I'm not going to do anything else because what I want to test here is how well it creates the scene. And what I'm looking for is when I create a scene with these kinetic avatars, I make sure we have a starting emotion and an ending emotion according to Plutchik's wheel of emotions. And the result of this is that I will create the video, or it'll create the dialogue, and it will tell me, also be sure to give me a shot list with timestamps for a 60-second video, including the starting and ending emotion of each segment of the scene. All right, we're going to test one other thing. In the PDF, I just recall that I told it to ask me a few questions if I didn't give it the right information. And one of them is this shot list with the seconds and the starting and ending emotion. I've not given it a starting and ending emotion of the scene, so we want to see if it asks us. Let's check it out. It did not ask us. So that test failed. We'll go figure it out. Okay, so I don't even want this to continue playing out because it did not have a starting and ending emotion. Okay, the starting emotion needs to be exhilaration. And now, so what we do is we go over to Plutchik's wheel. Of emotions and choose a wheel. And then we choose an emotion. And so what was it I was wanting? Exhilaration. So we look on the outside here, and we look for something that, man, the closest thing to exhilaration. This is all sad. It's all bleh. Amazement, terror. Rage, see, they're going to be on motorcycles. So how do we want them? We want to pop in while they are right in the midst of let's say terror, because they're going to be going 100 miles an hour. And let's take them all the way to serenity. Let's go from terror to serenity. So they'll have to pass through admiration. It'll have to pass through ecstasy, joy, and serenity. All right, we're going to go from terror to serenity. All right, we're just going to put that where it should be so that it makes me feel good. All right, so we're going to create this dialogue between Max and Myro, where they are both racing on their motorcycles. Be sure to use the instructions. So what we are hopefully doing here is we've created a GPT that has an environment that has the profiles of these two characters, and they're kinetic and they have persona-aware, so we have a lot of power in how it's going to craft the scene. It should hold very true to both the voice and the character parameters, and be consistent with the character. We should be able to get a shot list and see the breakdown of the emotions that'll be transpiring. And then, of course, each of our characters are built on a fundamental frequency, so they're dialed into the emotion as well, and it all should resonate quite nicely. Anyhow, let's give this a shot. And we're calling it Harmony on Wheels, because Max Harmonics. In a bustling metropolis at dusk, Max Harmonic and Myro are set for a thrilling motorcycle race. The scene captures a transformation from initial terror to eventual serenity, mirroring their emotional journey. Okay, so when you do this enough, you'll learn to tell it. Don't tell me about all that. Keep that behind the scenes. But for now, I want you to see it so you can see that ChatGPT is doing this and working with it this way, so that you can then better understand how to apply it when we talk about it in the marketing sense. So here's the script. Shot of dark clouds gathering over the city, the atmosphere tense and foreboding. Close up on Max and Myro's faces, showing visible signs of terror. Max Harmonics. This storm! It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Myro, whining anxiously. I can feel it in my bones, Max. It's frightening. Quick cuts of lightning striking, people running for cover. The race is about to begin. In this chaos? Oh, this is good. Okay, so I want to show you that it has, okay, so that is the entire script put out with timing and with personality marks, everything that you would use. Now, I rarely make the script as it comes out perfectly, but it's always a good start, and if necessary, it's a connect the dots kind of approach. Here's the shot list from 0 to 5 seconds, dark clouds, Max and Myro's anxious face. The emotion is terror. Here it's terror, then it goes from there to fear, to anxiety, to anticipation, to surprise, to serenity. You see how it works? The scene transitions from a gripping start filled. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so I haven't even read the whole thing. Now, what I need to do is take this. Now, there's a couple of things. If you have Kyber, K-A-I-B-E-R, you could take each one of these and just put it into Kyber, and it'll create an image for you based on each one of them, and quickly create a shot list and a way for you to make a video. I create my videos more manual. I like to piece them together and put put some flair into them, some layering. So I'm going to take this scene and I'm going to go make it as best I can, as quick as I can. It won't be, top-notch CGI. It's going to be me piecing together AI, piecing together B-roll and stuff like that, but and doing it quickly so that I can move on to the next one. But what I want you to see here is that we've just connected two companies, and they don't even know it. I'm about to release a video where SoundPaint and Solana go on a journey together and experience something. And this experience begins in terror, and then it ends in serenity. So there is growth, and there is connection, and there's participation in one another's world. Yet I have not engaged either of these companies or put either of them next to each other. You say, well, do you have the right to do that? All I'm doing is telling a story based on the characters that are of those companies. I'm only telling you this to give you the behind the scenes. If I was just doing it, then I am promoting those companies, and I'm promoting them in a positive light, and I'm not taking any intellectual property from them. And all I'm doing is I'm building a character that based on them and references them. Well, the reason I do that is because now the character embodies that brand, and the result is people following that character will start to relate to that character. And if either one of these two brands had a massive following and we put this out and tagged it, or maybe that brand even got on board and helped us distribute the piece of content, and the other brand benefited from it, all of a sudden, whoa, we've just created a win-win. And how can that be wrong? See, nobody is, if somebody takes something I say and they repeat it a million billion times, and it helps everybody that gets the word that I said, the quote, in their ear, then that benefits all of us. And that makes me feel good, and that empowers me. If you take what I say and you twist my words and you defame me with it, well, that's a whole different story. So how you handle this artificial intelligence, which is going to give us blurred lines at best, is going to be a matter of personal integrity and purpose. And, if either of these companies came back and said, we don't want to be represented in your social media. Really, in this day and age, everybody, I'm an affiliate for SoundPaint. Everybody's got, as much publicity as you can get is typically the way, and people are constantly, sharing things about other businesses and stuff. So that ought not to be a consideration until you're directly approached. And if you're directly approached, hopefully you have a good answer for the hope that lies within, because I know that this could create some very significant traffic and interest around both of their products, both of their brands, and I don't have a problem making those promotions. So let's go make this video, and I'm going to utilize certain video strategies to make it compelling as possible. But because we have a scene that traverses emotion, no matter what, somebody watches all the way from beginning to end, you know that they have just transformed from one emotion to another. And in that process, you become they become available to you. While they're in that emotional transition, you have their 100% attention. And there are strategies that you can use to take full advantage of this, not in a way that traditional advertising does, where traditional advertising uses data collection and fear-mongering and all those other elements, but rather in the scene, because you can see how far people get in the video, and you know what emotion that they land at. Because if they land, where was it? if they land right here and they stop watching, if you built your video exactly like this, and at 15 seconds, the race begins speeding through the storm, and 80-90% of your people stop watching at that point, and the video was good, it wasn't like they stopped because it was stupid or hard to watch, then you know that you might have touched a button, a fear button. You might have touched it too hard. So then that would allow you to go back and kind of recalibrate the scene and make it a little smoother there, so the fear wasn't so on the spot, on the nose. And maybe you'll be able to look at it and know exactly what you included that caused it. And then all of a sudden your video, people watch it all the way to the end. Now you know exactly what your audience, how they're approaching this transition between terror and serenity, and you know how they feel around fear. And boy, if that doesn't, man, that is some rich data, and you've never touched any of their data. You're able to see it across the full landscape of analytics that are provided by the platforms. You're able to see all of that, but it's about a digital character, not an individual. But because the digital character represents the individuals who are following it, and it's this well broken down, plus persona-aware, man, you have the ability to market not just to the emotion that a piece of content might create, but the micro emotion. And that is something nobody's ever been able to do. But by this process, you can. That's just scratching the surface of how digital storytelling and marketing is going to change. I'm going to show you that we are no longer going to be called digital marketers, but digital producers. Because the job of a marketer now is going to be the exact same as a producer on a big budget film. In fact, those guys are going to end up in these positions, but we'll talk about that later. And you're going to have to be a director, or you're going to need a director, because you're going to have somebody that creates the story and manages the story. And as the story content goes out, you're going to need a marketing person and a bean counter, and you need a whole team, just like everything else. But this gives you the ability to fully use the power that story has with it. Now, again, we're just scratching the surface. Later, we're going to talk. Well, here's the beauty. Did you see how I stacked all of those kinetic avatars, and I said hi to them in the beginning? I can do that with public avatar. If you had a kinetic avatar, and you can get one, or you can make your own, just go to 4dstory.com and join, and that'll take you to my Patreon. Just join for free, and then once you're for free, you'll have access to a free kinetic avatar. You'll be able to look at it. You'll get access to the videos of how to create, how to use that kinetic avatar. The videos currently are not in alignment with this GPT update. Rather, they use a PDF. But the only difference is, instead of uploading your PDF to a plugin, which was askyourpdf.com, you now upload it to your GPT. But that's another video, so we talk about that later. So all I was doing here was essentially helping you see that with these kinetic avatars, I could now, right now I'm creating these avatars for these companies. But let's say I typed in there kinetic avatars and I look up McDonald's. And McDonald's has a kinetic avatar, or a whole slew of them that I can choose from. Well, what's going to happen is as I choose that character, it's going to come with a rich set of personality traits and tools and resources and links and connections, and man, it could be gamified and hidden treasures built into its GPT. I mean, you can really make these profiles rich. And I can start engaging, creating scenes with that character and my character. And then once I produce the scene, however I feel about that, and I put it out on social media and tag McDonald's, well, McDonald's is going to know that I created a scene using their character. You say, how are they going to know that? That is yet to be figured out. I have yet to figure out, and I know it can be done, but I've got to figure out how, when I create a scene with a public avatar that is not mine, how that person's going to even know that I did that. And in reality, I don't think, other than ChatGPT giving up analytics on who is engaging theirs, they may not know. However, what's going to happen is every time I use that McDonald's, let's say avatar, they're going to get more and more connections listed on their thing. So I'm literally going to be driving attention to them. I think there's a lot of growth in this area where ChatGPT is going to create opportunities, kind of like, affiliate marketing almost. There'll be ways that if I drive traffic to your GPT, then I'm going to get compensated in points or something, crypto, money, I don't know. But I think there's a lot of potential there as this grows. So I can now connect with any public, and it could be somebody else can make another public digital character profile. It won't have persona wear. It won't have the same brand recognition that will continue to develop with kinetic avatars. And it simply won't have the same ecosystem to draw from. However, it would work because, it's a profile. But, or it's a GPT. And maybe someone can make one radically better than what I'm suggesting, because they can use programming language and they can put a lot of cool stuff into it. Great, that's what we want. We want the most dynamic characters that we can possibly make. And there's a difference between making a character GPT and a story GPT. A character GPT is just the character. A story and supporting resources. A story GPT is the setting and the context and all of the supporting elements, whether it's cars, boats, airplanes, all the tech specs for all of that. And you can have complete specs for all the costuming, everything in that GPT, and all the character profiles, and it's all one story world. But if you want those characters to be able to connect with other people, although you could take your character and just jump into somebody else's story world and leverage their entire story world in your scene. There's nothing you can't do with these. They're really incredibly powerful. So now I have the ability to tell stories with everybody around the world as my character casting. And I can cast any character I want, any kinetic avatar, and bring it in and create content with it. Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool? Like, okay, so you have Jay-Z or the Kardashians. Let's just use that that reality show. And they say, we're going to have a kinetic avatar and we're going to make it available. In fact, we're going to make our whole family's kinetic avatar profile available. We're going to build an entire luxurious 40-story GPT, and we're going to give you access to it, and you get to create scenes and put them out on social media that are in alignment with this story arc and these characters. And now collectively, we're all going to get to, utilizing ChatGPT, we're all going to get to make scenes, and we're all going to get to contribute to the persona, the large persona, if you will, of the Kardashian family through this process. And of course, ChatGPT will regulate it to make sure nobody can create defaming language or sexual or grotesque. It limits all of that. So that's kind of the beauty of this process. Anyhow, those are all things to come. You'll see more of those. So now let me go make this video. I don't know how long it'll take, a day or so, but I promise you won't have to wait. Well, you'll just have to wait till you scroll. But I look forward to it. It's going to be exciting. All right, cool. That's all I have, because I was just doing this to see what this scene would look like. Now I'm going to go back and read it, and here, you're going to want to read it too. So I'll do this real quick, and then I'll be done. So the storm, we ended up, stay close, Myro, we'll ride out this tempest. High-speed chase through the rain-slicked streets, the terror of the storm juxtaposed with the thrill of the race. Barking determinedly, I'm with you, Max, we can do this. A partially closed lightning strike startles them, but they regain control, showing resilience. The storm begins to subside, revealing a stunning sunset. The atmosphere shifts towards calm. Max in awe looks at the sky. Myro, it's beautiful. It's like the world is at peace now. They continue racing, but now it's less about speed and more about enjoying the ride. Serenity starts setting in. The race ends. They stop at a hill overlooking the city bathed in the serene light of the setting sun. From terror to serenity. Myro, what a journey. The best kind, Max. The best kind. And the only thing I would do here is, can you rewrite this and remove all references to the emotional palette? And them expressing how they feel. Just show how they feel and make the scenes more alive. Yeah, see, it's much more exciting now. Stick with me, Myro. Yeah, I like the way it came out there. Okay, it's not very exciting, but we can make it exciting with the dark clouds and the lightning strikes and the racing, all of that. And then we'll use Sound Paint to create our audio palette, and along with some sound effects, because the racing, etc., all those sounds. So this will be a fun project. And when we're done and we send it out, I assure you Sound Paint will put it out on their Twitter, and we'll see if we can't get the attention of Solana, because we want to, I don't know, we want to have we want to make Myro more famous. That's what we want to do. Okay, and so off to work. Thank you much for the story. Time to perform. Don't forget it. That's what it's all about.